I want to stay as anonymous as possible with this. What happened left me deeply shaken and honestly scarred for life. I have changed every name, town, and detail that could point back to me. I have always been a very quiet, keep-to-myself person. It started young, even in elementary school. Teachers told my parents I showed signs of being antisocial. I was pulled out for special 20-minute sessions for speech and behavior while the rest of the class stayed behind. Back then I didn't understand why. Middle school was when the real pressure started. Kids formed their groups, and that only got worse in high school. I never had learning problems, just social ones. They've gotten better as I've grown up, but I'm still an awkward introvert. I do have a small close circle of friends now, and I'm thankful for them. Now let's talk about dating. Being a loner made it hard with girls. I won't go into too much detail, but I lost my virginity at 21 later than most. This story happened when I was 23. By then I had moved out of my parents' house and had a good job in my field. I bought a nice 2-story townhouse in my hometown. It was affordable, but big and clean, something a 23-year-old guy could show off. One day on a dating app, I matched with a very pretty girl. I'll call her Olivia. We went to dinner. I was nervous the whole time. Sure, I was being awkward and that she was judging me. When I got home, I was certain she'd never want to see me again. But she texted that night saying she had a great time and really liked me. I was over the moon. We had a second, third, and fourth date. Once I relaxed, everything felt perfect. We became official fast. At the start, you're excited every time they text or call. You want that attention, and it feels mutual. But slowly, I noticed Olivia was texting me all the time. Morning, noon, night. She'd ask where I was if I was slow to reply. She'd send question marks or call if I didn't answer fast enough. One day on the couch, she said we should share locations on our phones. I didn't like the idea, but I had nothing to hide, so I agreed. A couple of months in, things turned bad. She started asking why I was at my friend Daniel's house and not answering her. It got worse. One Friday night, I was in Daniel's basement with him and our friend Sam. Olivia showed up at the door. Daniel's mom brought her downstairs. She didn't even try to hide her anger. She yelled at me in front of my friends for having fun instead of answering her texts about a wine tasting the next day. I asked if we could talk later. She demanded I leave with her right then. I said sorry to the guys and went outside. We argued in the street. She wanted to come home with me. I said no. We had driven separately, so I got in my car and told her not to follow. When I got home, I sent a long text saying I needed space and a break. I know breaking up over text isn't fair, but I was honestly scared of her reaction in person. She called over and over and sent dozens of messages. When I stopped answering, she came to my door and pounded on it. The doorbell rang nonstop. My neighbor came out and told her to leave. I heard her scream that I was trash. I stood with my ear to the door until she finally left. I'm not saying the red flags came out of nowhere. They were there, I just ignored them because I was caught up in the beginning. The next day I turned off location sharing. Within minutes, she blew up my phone, furious. That made me sure ending it was right. My last message was, "I'm sorry. Olivia, I have to block you for a while. You're scaring me." She didn't show up again. She did stop sharing her location too. Exactly 1 week later, I went to Daniel's again. I got home around 11:30, still hungry and not tired. I heated food in the microwave and sat on the couch to find a scary movie. When the microwave beeped and the house went quiet, I heard a soft click from the dining room. The downstairs is one big loop. Kitchen, dining room, living room, den. There's a real door, not an open arch between the den and dining room. I muted the TV. Then I clearly heard that door click open. I called out, "Who's in here?" No answer. I walked in and saw the door standing open. I always keep interior doors closed. I grabbed the biggest knife from the kitchen and called 911, my first time ever. I spoke loud so whoever was inside would hear, "I think my crazy ex broke into my house. Please send someone now." The dispatcher told me to wait outside if I could. I did. A police car showed up fast. I explained everything. The officer and I searched every inch of the house together. Closets under beds, the small attic, crawl space everywhere. No one was there. He told me to call again if anything else happened. He believed me. I couldn't relax after that. I ate my cold food and went upstairs, locked my bedroom door and tried to sleep. I took a sleep pill and passed out fast. I'm a light sleeper, and something woke me up. My phone was lighting up with texts from an unknown number. It was Olivia. She sent a long apology begging to talk in person tomorrow. Then 8 messages that just said wake up. I replied, "Why are you texting me at this hour? This is crazy. These past days have shown me I want nothing to do with you. Please, leave me alone." The second I hit send, a scream came from inside my bedroom closet. Olivia's voice yelling no. The closet door flew open. I jumped out of bed, ran out of the room, and slammed the door shut behind me. She tried to open the door. Then she started stabbing it. I saw the knife come through the wood on my side. In panic, I yelled, "Baby, I love you. Stop." It worked. She stopped. While she calmed down, I quietly called 911 again and kept the line open. I talked through the door, lying that I was just scared but still loved her and wanted to get back together. She begged me to open the door. I stalled, saying I was afraid of the knife. She finally said she'd throw it across the room. I heard it hit the wall and fall. I yanked the door open and tackled her to the floor. She screamed and fought. I held her down and yelled my address into the phone. Police arrived fast. They kicked in the front door. I heard the crash even over her crying. They rushed upstairs, put her in handcuffs, and took her away. I was in shock. I didn't even cry. That was the worst night of my life. The legal process after was long and heavy. She is in prison now, on serious charges. That doesn't make me happy. She was someone I spent every day with for months. Someone I thought I loved. Someone who tried to kill me. She was not okay in the head, and I missed every sign because I was so caught up and so worried about impressing her. This will stay with me forever. Even telling it anonymously feels like a small weight off my chest. When I was 22, I started dating a guy I met on a dating app. I'll call him Arthur. We went on about 4 dates, over a little more than a month. At first, everything seemed okay. Our first date was just coffee, less than an hour, mostly to see if he looked normal. The second date was drinks. We both got a nice buzz and had fun. The third date was dinner. That's when I started to wonder if I really liked his personality, or if something felt a little off. We kissed at the end. It was the first and only time I told myself the kiss meant things were fine. A couple of weeks later, we had our fourth and final date drinks again. This time I paid closer attention. Some of his little habits felt strange, almost unsettling. He drank a lot and got very touchy at the bar, trying to kiss me over and over. I don't like public kissing, especially with people right next to us. I gently pushed him away and said I was tired, hinting it was time to go. He paid the bill, we grabbed our coats and walked out. On the way to the cars, he stopped and asked straight out if I wanted to go home with him. I said, "Not tonight, I'm tired and I have work tomorrow." That was a lie. He kept pushing, saying he'd drive me to work in the morning. I thought it was ridiculous, and he was too drunk to drive anyway. Right then, I decided I was done. I walked to my car across the street and started driving home slowly because I'd had a couple drinks. I was being extra careful and watching for cops, which is probably why I noticed the same car staying behind me after 3 turns. At a red light, I realized it was Arthur's car. I texted, "Are you following me?" He answered fast. "Yes, just making sure you get home safe," I called him. He didn't pick up. I pulled over and texted, "Stop following me, I'm fine." He stopped in the road for a second, then drove past me. No more texts until I was in bed. He wrote, "Hope I didn't freak you out, got too drunk. Next time let's do something chill, like dinner at my place." I didn't reply. The next morning he texted, "Oh no, is the vibe dead?" I answered so it wouldn't get worse. "Hey, I had fun getting to know you, but I don't think our personalities match. I just want to focus on myself right now. Hope you understand." That's when the angry text started, the worst one. "No, I don't understand. You strung me along for 4 dates. Pay me back half of everything I spent on you." The others were personal and ugly, so I blocked him. Then the no-caller ID calls started non-stop. I ignored them until they finally stopped the next day. One evening I came home from work, parents were away, and found flowers on the front step with a card. It was an apology from Arthur asking for another chance. He knew where I lived. In his head, it was romantic. To me, it was terrifying. I sent one last text. "Do not contact me again and never come to my house or I will get a restraining order." I kept him blocked so I wouldn't see any reply. I thought it was over. I was wrong. A few nights later, I was home alone. My bedroom is upstairs, the highest part of the house. I woke up in the middle of the night to strange noises downstairs. I listened hard and heard a door open, one of the upstairs doors. No one was supposed to be home. I slid out of bed, crawled under it, and called 911. I texted my whole family, "Who is home right now?" I heard faint sounds from another bedroom. Then my bedroom door opened, and footsteps came up the carpeted stairs. Silence at the top. Then the drawers next to my bed started opening. I covered my mouth so my breathing wouldn't be heard. A man's voice muttered. God damn it. It sounded like Arthur. I stayed frozen, praying. My phone stayed quiet. He went through every drawer in my dresser. Then the bed moved. He sat down on it. I could see his shoes under the bedskirt. He sat there for 2 or 3 minutes, then stood up and whispered, "Fucking hell." He closed the drawers, walked down the stairs, shut the bedroom door, and went downstairs. I stayed on the phone with 911, whispering, and didn't move for 10 or 15 minutes until police arrived. I met the officer at the front door. He and another officer who showed up searched the whole house. Every window was unlocked. One big dining room window had a gap big enough for a person to crawl through the bush and slip inside. I gave a full statement and a report number. When my parents got home the next day, we went to the station with screenshots of his texts, including the one where he admitted following me. Police said they'd look into it, but without hard proof he was the one inside, it was hard to move forward. I did get a restraining order. They told me never to accuse him directly of breaking in, and never to contact him again. He never reached out after that, but until the day I moved out of my parents' house, I was always on edge. Even now, years later, I sometimes worry he'll find my new address. I've never posted anything like this before, but after what happened last year, I just need to get it out. Maybe someone else has been through the same thing. I'm 20 now, but this all happened when I was 18. During my senior year of high school, I live in a small town where everyone knows everyone, and secrets don't stay secret for long. That made everything 10 times worse. I was dating a girl named Chloe, and things were honestly going great. Then out of nowhere, I heard from someone from my past, a girl named Hannah. We had dated in 7th grade, holding hands at lunch, texting after school. Kid stuff. I hadn't spoken to her since middle school. One night she messaged me on social media. She said she saw my post and just wanted to say hi. It started friendly. We laughed about old memories. I told her I had a girlfriend. She said she was happy for me and would love to catch up sometime. I thought it was harmless. At first it really was. We texted now and then, nothing flirty, just life updates. She had moved to a town 30 minutes away and seemed fine. But the messages got longer and came at weird hours, like 2 or 3 in the morning. I didn't answer those, but I'd wake up to paragraphs about how she never got over me, and how seeing me with Chloe made her feel sick. That's when the red flags went up. I showed Chloe the messages. She laughed it off at first, but I could tell it bothered her. Things got bad fast after that. One Saturday, Chloe and I went to our usual diner. Hannah was there, sitting alone in a booth across from us, staring. She didn't order anything, she just watched. We tried to ignore her, but Chloe was shaken. A few days later, Chloe started getting nasty messages from a blank account, no picture, no name. Things like, "He'll leave you like he left me, and you're just a placeholder." At first we thought it was a random troll. Then the account sent old photos I had only ever sent to Hannah back in middle school. She had kept them all those years. She edited them to look recent and sent them to group chats at school. Not just to Chloe, but to classmates. Suddenly people I hadn't talked to in months were messaging me. Some acted worried, most just gossiped. In a small town, that kind of thing spreads like fire. People whispered in hallways and laughed behind my back. I went from a normal guy to that guy from the pictures. It was humiliating. Chloe tried to stay strong, but I saw the stress wearing her down. She stopped posting online, got quiet at school, and finally asked for a break. I don't blame her, she didn't sign up for this. Meanwhile, Hannah got bolder. I started seeing her black sedan parked near my house at night. Once I took out the trash at 11 and saw it idling across the street lights, OFF. It drove away the second I stepped outside. Another night, someone knocked on my bedroom window at 2 a.m. I looked out, no one, just her car half a block down. I told my parents, but they didn't take it seriously, Dad said. Girls get emotional. It'll pass. Mom told me to just block her, but blocking didn't work. She made new accounts, same creepy messages. I stopped sleeping. I stayed up checking the window and my phone. Every buzz made my stomach drop. I was scared not that she'd hurt me physically, but that she had no limits left. The school couldn't help either. The counselor said since it was all online and off campus, their hands were tied. Hannah knew no one would stop her. One day, I found a note in red marker on my windshield at school. I see the way you look at her. You never looked at me like that. After that, I parked off school grounds. I stopped talking to people. I deleted my social media for months. She still found ways to let me know she was watching. The final straw was the night she went to Chloe's house. Chloe called me crying. Someone had been knocking on her bedroom window non-stop, then vanished when her dad came out with a flashlight. She swore she saw Hannah's face right before she ducked away. I drove over and called the police from the driveway. They took a report, but with no real proof, they couldn't do much. Hannah denied everything and said we were harassing her. After that, Chloe's parents made her block me. They wanted nothing to do with the drama. Then suddenly it all stopped. No more messages, no more accounts, no more car. Hannah disappeared from my life like nothing had happened. I never found out why. If someone talked to her, if she got bored, or if she moved on to someone else. Chloe and I never got back together. Some people at school still bring it up like it's a joke. I keep my head down and don't talk about it much. Most people either don't believe me or think I'm overreacting. I've checked Hannah's profile a few times, since not proud of it, just curious. Last I saw, she's engaged, smiling in pictures, living what looks like a normal life. I wonder if her fiancé knows what she's capable of, or if she really changed. Either way, I'll never understand how someone I barely dated as a kid could ruin my life years later. To this day, I get nervous when I see a black sedan. I still hesitate before accepting follow requests from strangers. It's been almost 2 years. I wish I could say I'm completely over it. I'm not. Sometimes I still wonder if she's watching. If one day it will all start again, just like the first time.